If you're struggling to capture the true essence of human features in your portraits, you should watch this video as I'm going to break down the human head into its more simpler anatomy and focus on the really important stuff like the skull and the major muscles, so that after watching this video, you can look at a face and break it down into the simpler underlying shapes that really make up your entire portrait. So first off, we'll start with a nice little skull drawing, and then we'll add some of the more important muscles onto it. To draw the actual skull, as usual, you just start with a sphere, you divide it into two, and then you will add on a jaw, which is for now just like a 90-degree rectangular shape, and it's about as long as one of those two halves. So you divide that circle in two, and the length of one of those halves, that should be the length of the jaw. So that's it. That's really simple. So now we have a really great base, and we can just start adding all the necessary landmarks that we should remember that are important. First off, the forehead. The forehead is often more of a steeper ramp than an actual curve, especially on men. There is a sort of bulging shape right on that line that you see there. That's the sort of brow ridge bone, so it juts out a little bit. Now let's take a little detour from the front of the face and go all the way back to the jaw. You can't really see it that well in the footage because it's kind of skewed from the perspective, but the jaw should sort of end around halfway through the whole head. So it starts at the front and it goes back around halfway. The actual jawbone is often quite sharp, even though it might not look like that in real life on people. It's often like a 90-degree, well, not a 90-degree, close to 90-degree angle. It's quite sharp, right? So it'll go up around the halfway point, and that is also where your ear canal will probably, well, not probably, will be. And if you continue a line, you can see I drew there, if you continue a line along this curve of the jaw all the way up, that is where the actual top of the head will be. Back to the front of the face, to keep going from that eyebrow ridge, you will go with a big indent really quickly for the sort of indent that you have in your nose, and then it will abruptly end because we don't have a bone for most of our noses, it's mostly just cartilage, so it will curve in very deeply, and it will end at around this line marking where the bottom third of the face will start. That's it for the nose. And then for the sort of mouth, teeth, and cheeks area, you will have this sort of barrel-like cylindrical shape as they jut forward a little bit, and then it ends close to the bottom, and you have a more of a cleft, a more of a ridge for the actual jaw/cheek. Our last main landmark in terms of the bone structure is going to be the zygomatic bone. Also, you can just call them the cheekbones. So to find where we place them, I'd say go to where your eye socket is, and then drop a vertical line down, and along that line you'll find the zygomatic bone. And then horizontally, I'd say from that eyebrow ridge line down to the bottom of the nose line, right in the middle, that's going to be the middle of that zygomatic bone. And I don't really know exactly how to simplify it. It's a bit of a trapezoid shape, kind of tilted on its side a little bit. So then you'll put down this weird blocky shape, and then you'll draw two slanting lines from it, or curving lines. So one on the bottom, going all the way to the ear canal, curving as it goes, and then one closer to the top that's going to curve all the way into the temple. So far throughout this video, we've mostly covered bone anatomy, and I believe that's a valid thing to do, as in drawing and painting, the skull anatomy comes into play much more often, but it depends on what you're doing. So for now, let's talk about one or two more muscles that I believe are quite useful. The first one, you guys probably already know this one, it is the masseter or the jaw muscle. It is this weird bellying, sort of a little bit round shape. It's not fully flat on the side of the corner of your jaw. And sometimes, especially on men, it is a bit prominent. You could see that bulge. Maybe if you want to draw a person who's a bit tensed up, they might tense their jaw and you could see it pop out a little. And the other one is the buccinator. I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's a very weird name. And it is just right in front of the masseter, and that is the cheek muscle, which often sometimes stretches and comes into play depending on the person's expression. My strategy for drawing them, the masseter just goes from the corner of the jaw down to around the middle of the zygomatic bone, and then the buccinator is again from the top of the the bottom of the zygomatic bone down to the top of where that jawbone starts to appear. So today we've covered the general construction for a skull and the most important landmarks like stuff related with the jaw and the zygomatic bone, stuff like that, and also some muscles. That is it for today. This is some good stuff that every artist should know, because you could really stretch and play with a lot of these things. If you want somebody with high cheekbones, you know which bone is responsible for that, and you know more information about this bone now. More content is on its way, and uploads will be way more regular because I had exam season and I was kind of busy for a bit, but now I should be good. So I'll see you guys very, very soon.